Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Longlivemosi, aka King Mosi, and I got some interesting things I want to talk about today. If this is your first time at the channel, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. If this is your returning time, welcome back. But again, today I want to talk about the Red Bull Dancer Style Finals that happened in Los Angeles, California. I want to talk about what went down and how I personally feel about it. Because, you know, with these type of events, when the crowd is judging, it could get a little bit sticky, you know? So here's the thing. When battles are judged by the crowd, it's not always about who's the best dancer. Sometimes it just comes down to who's the crowd favorite. Or it could be who's the hometown favorite in some cases, you know? If you can get the crowd to go ooh and ah, then a lot of the times you may win that round or that battle. Doesn't matter if the person you're standing across from might be technically stronger than you or vice versa. You know, there's a strong chance you might win that round. Let's be honest, when it comes to these Red Bull events, we know what we're getting ourselves into. It's nothing new. They've been running this a couple years now. We know the format. The format hasn't changed. So I personally don't think at this point in time there should be any complaining about the situation, especially if all these dancers are participating in the event. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal take on it. You can have your own, but for me, I just look at it like we know what we're getting ourselves into. You know what I'm saying? We volunteering our time, our money, and our effort to be a part of this event, and we shouldn't be complaining about the outcome if, you know? And I'm not condemning anybody that feels a certain type of way. My whole thing is if this is not your vibe, then this is just not your vibe. You know, go create something for yourself, or go contribute something to your community to where that style can blow up. You know what I'm saying? That format can blow up. Because we do have a bunch of events where there's judges sitting in the front and they point and go. You know what I'm saying? Red Bull just so happens to have the funding and the backing to make this a big event. So overall, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go, whatever the case may be. What I'm actually saying is just go where you feel like you want to contribute. You know, if the format for Red Bull is not your style and it doesn't feed your soul, hey, look, by all means, you do not have to go. You do not have to attend. You do not have to participate. There are thousands of other battles that you can go to where they have judges that are reputable that sit in the front and they point and pick who they want to win. You did? Now let's get to the event. You know, there are a lot of rounds that I did see that I probably would have voted differently. You know, when it comes to like style, technique, and just the whole aura of dance, I did see some things that I said, oh, got it. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I just agree with everything that Red Bull is doing. No, that's not me. That's not how I get down. But like I said, there are some rounds that I saw that made me say, okay, that's different. And some of the dancers that didn't make it to the end were, to me, were probably a little more skilled than some of the other dancers. And again, that could be what I mentioned earlier, the wow factor. You know, getting the crowd on your side in these type of battles usually is a ticket to win, you know, because it is a crowd vote. Just like if you were sitting in or dancing in front of judges, you would dance for the judges for the judge vote. In this particular event, you have to dance for the audience, which is the judge, you know? So a lot of the battles, a lot of the rounds that I thought some of the dancers were just a little bit more skilled, a little bit more technically sound in their style, I thought should have went further. And let me say this, I do think everyone's round was good. I'm not saying that all of those dancers on the stage were good dancers. Let me say that. All of those dancers on stage were good dancers. But in the moment, it's a battle, it's war, it's game time. You know, it's like football. Any given Sunday, any team can win on a Sunday, no matter how good they are or no matter how bad they are. Some of my favorite rounds, though, I liked Crowns rounds, like a couple of Crowns rounds. John Michael Cruel's round. He had one round that was really good, and I think that's the round he lost. And I thought he won that personally. Those two, I would say, were my MVPs of the night. And also, the girl who battled Crown, Paris, she's fire. Shout out to her. Shout out to Paris. To drive my point a little bit further, this event is entertainment. We know what we're getting from this event. You know, Red Bull has a lot of backing because it's Red Bull. They have the capital to bring in celebrities. They have the capital to bring in the certain type of people to bring in a different audience. Now, I look at it from a business point of view as if, how do I make my event bigger? How do I make my event the biggest event in the States? What I do is I'll bring celebrities, I'll bring influencers. Mind you, because we want people who don't dance to come and fill these seats up. Let's be real. If the event is all dancers, there's not going to be a lot of people there. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time in these big events, the crowd are filled with dancers, yes, but they're also filled with friends and family. That's what makes sporting events so great. You know what I'm saying? Like basketball players just don't go to basketball games because if that was the case, stadiums wouldn't be full. You know, so as a business-minded person, I'm thinking like that. So yes, it can be, you know, what I've been seeing lately. It could be not of the culture. It's, you know, the dances aren't as good, quote unquote. If, like I said before, if it just doesn't feed your soul and it doesn't sit with you, just don't involve yourself. You know, don't partake. It's just like that. And let me be honest, like when I won Just Debut in New York in 2014 and I got flown to Paris, we did the Moulin Rouge for the top 16, I believe, and then the top 8 went to the Bercy, the big event that you guys usually watch on YouTube. I was hoping for an event like that in the States. And it's finally here, so I can't really knock Red Bull for their format and how they're doing things. I do just want to appreciate and shout out to Red Bull and the teams and all the teams that worked on this event. Shout out to y'all for making it a great event. So before I end the video, I want to leave you with a couple of quick tips, you know what I'm saying, on some positive sugar honey iced tea, if you dig what I'm saying. Number one, know what you're signing up for. Like I said before, we all know what this event is. There's no judges. The crowd is the judge. Maybe you could consider that before you sign up or want to, quote unquote, complain about the situation. Also, number two, balance. Balance, balance, balance. Find the balance between your technique and understanding the crowd. You know, you want to lab and keep your technique and your foundation. You want to have that strong, but you also have to understand that this is a crowd voting event. Have some of the crowd pleasing skills, know how to work the crowd. You know what I'm saying? That's just a little bit of for you. Number three, keep growing and stay adaptable. Like I said, be mindful of the events that you go to. If there's judges, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to be more technically sound. If there's a crowd vote, I'm pretty sure you're going to be more entertaining. You know, just keep growing and stay a student. You know, you can learn a bunch of different things from many different events. And number four, most importantly, enjoy the experience. Like I said before, I went to a lot of Red Bull events, and the one thing that I could take away from it is the experience. You know, sometimes I went to battles and I'll be forgetting the battle even happened just because I had a good time with the people that was there. You know, the people that was working the event, the dancers, meeting new people in the city. Like, it's just a whole bunch of things that cultivated a great experience. But the moments, the memories, and the experience is going to be there forever. 10 years from now, you'll be talking about that situation. Whether you won or lost, you'll be talking about it in the experience, like how I do with Just Debut. So yeah, that's how I feel about the Red Bull dancing style events. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you like what I'm saying, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. That is very, very important. That helps me build, that helps me grow, and that helps me get more of this information out to y'all. You dig what I'm saying? It's your boy Longlivemosi, aka King Mosi, and I'm out.